Welcome to the Panavox channel. I'm Joe.
And I'm Eric. No, I'm Mike.
And I'm Eric. And today on the Panavox channel, we have a special guest, our old friend Mike. And he's going to help us out with our topic today. And we're going to do a ranking of Pink Floyd studio albums from worst to best.
So set the controls for the heart of the fun, kids.
That's right. That's exactly right. And are you guys, Mike, you want to show everybody your T-shirt?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a good one, eh?
occasion?
Yeah. This is a Japanese Pink Floyd T-shirt. It's a replica of a Japanese 7-inch, eh? For one of these days. It's kind of sexy on me, as you can tell. But I like it because it's kind of like bootleg quality almost. And it's got Japanese writing on it that I don't know what it says. It could be saying, hey, Pink Floyd, we love being fascists. For all I know. But that's besides the point.
Nice looking T-shirt.
Good shirt. Okay, without further ado, we're going to jump right in at number 15. This is the bottom ranked Pink Floyd album according to each one of us. So who wants to go first?
Me.
All right, Mike, give us what you got.
Mike has to say.
Number 15, sorry, but it's the final cut. That is not really a great Pink Floyd album, I don't think. It's kind of like The Wall, but weaker.
That's really not a surprising choice. I kind of feel like the number 15 is going to be one of two albums in almost every case, but okay, Joe, you want to go next?
So I'm still talking about number 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your number 15?
I think Final Cut would kind of qualify. I tried to listen to it maybe half a dozen times, and I was just like, this is just not working for me. That was really, I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it. It didn't work for me. It just seemed like that Roger Waters had kind of like had a kind of a midlife crisis or something, and he recorded it. But as a second, one to that, I might put Endless River, kind of maybe share the 15th place there because I kind of like the Endless River, but then I thought, I could also listen to it like when I'm getting ready to go to sleep. So
it does have like a Parts of Space-esque quality to it.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's like the Pink Floyd album nobody really wanted them to make.
Yeah.
It's not really like a Pink Floyd album. And it's like, why did you guys do that album?
Yeah.
But I think it's charming for that reason. And there's some good guitar playing on it, I think.
Joe, you got to pick one or the other for your number 15.
All right. I'm going to go with the Final Cut. I mean, because it is a real grating on the ears, at least to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're finished?
Yeah, that's it for me. What's your number 15?
My 15, I had to put Endless River, and I'm sorry, Mike, I know you like that album, but
like is kind of maybe a strong word, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I think it's listenable. I've listened to it a couple of times. And I mean, it's okay. It's just doesn't it kind of puts me to sleep, to be honest. It's just so low key and so
Yeah.
mellow. It's just I don't know.
Well, that's really when I get most of my good music listening done is when I'm asleep. So maybe that's why I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
well
So
that was the hard. We got the hard one out of the way.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
We're
What's
that's
on
next?
14.
let's move on to number 14. What you got, Mike?
Momentary lapse of reason.
Mm-hmm.
I actually listened back through because I hadn't heard it in a long time, just the other day, and there's some good songs on it, but uh, part of what I don't like about it is just the over '80s kind of production on it, and really the later Pink Floyd albums. It's hard to listen to because I feel like David Gilmour is yelling at me. You know, feel like he's mad at me about something. I'm like, Dave, what that's wrong, man? So yeah, it's like I just don't like being yelled at. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I I think maybe like Roger Waters and David Gilmour were mad at each other and like all the post Roger Waters Pink Floyd album and the Roger Waters solo albums is basically Roger and David kind of yelling back and forth at each other.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Maybe, I don't know.
sometimes
Maybe.
it worked and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that yeah, I'm going to agree with Mike here as well on this one because everything after the final cut is just kind of like for me.
Mm,
I mean, it's like they soldiered on, and I kind of respect that. But I mean, yeah, it has to be kind of relative for me because I do like. I mean, I can't appreciate momentary lapse of reason, Division Bell, Endless River, but it's just it's just a different era of the band, and there's Roger Waters is out of the picture. You've got David Gilmour soldiering on as best he can with the situation. It's a '90s album. I mean, it is what it is. It was kind of like I don't know. My whole feeling about that whole time period is it's kind of like you're just kind of squeezing more juice out of the lemon, whatever's left, and yeah, it's not bad, but it's just if you have to compare it to the earlier stuff, you're going to be perpetually disappointed. That's just kind of
yeah,
how.
very
Mm.
eloquently stated, Joe.
Thank you. Your turn, Eric.
Okay, my number 14 is the final cut for the reasons that y'all have already said. It was just, I kind of feel, I think it was that album is basically just kind of leftover tracks from the wall that didn't make it onto the wall. And,
I think so too.
and it's kind of got, it's like he took the worst aspects of the wall and just condensed it down into another album. And it was basically kind of like a Roger Waters solo album, and the rest of the band didn't really get much input or anything. And I don't think Richard Wright was even on that album. And
No,
so,
I had kicked him out at that point.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the final cut at number 14, I think there's a lot of people that agree with that. But
Well, I think Joe said it best. It was, it's like everybody wanted to like that album, and it just took so much
yeah,
effort that I think everybody just kind of gave out.
yeah. Well, I re-listened to that album maybe a year or two ago, and it wasn't as bad as I expected. That's why I've got it at number 14 instead of
Yeah.
number 15.
I listened to some of it while I was, getting ready for this little thing here, and I have to say it lived down to my expectations for sure.
Okay.
Live
All
down
right.
as
Well,
opposed to
we
live down.
Sorry.
y'all ready for number 13?
Yeah,
Lucky
yeah.
13.
Yep.
Uh, Mine was the Division Bell, actually, which
Mm-hmm.
I thought I hated more than I did. I went back and listened to some of it, and there's actually a few songs on there that aren't bad. And there's one song about that Richard Wright sings.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So that was cool. But I kind of
Yeah.
I have to skip over the songs where David Gilmour is yelling at me. Listen to some of the mellower tunes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
So, I'm also going to put Division Bell in there for we're number 13, right? Yeah. So, and similar, but I remember when it came out, I believe that was 94 that it came out, and I bought it right when it came out, and I remember I really enjoyed it at the time, particularly that song that came out, tongue-tied and twisted, just an earthbound misfit. I forget what's the name of that track. Um, yeah,
That's not
Oh,
my era of expertise. I'm
yeah,
not
I
sure.
can't remember the
oh,
song, but it's a song they play on the radio quite a bit on classic rock stations, and
I
it's a
think
pretty
that
good
song you're
tune.
talking about is on it's on momentary. That one's on momentary lapse of
Oh,
reason.
I got that mixed up with Division Bell. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. But but I did get the Division Bell album, remember listening to it, and it's pretty good, and feel like it probably better than the Momentary Lapse of Reason one. And but it's again it's Floyd after Roger Waters era, and it's funny because in its own right, it's not a bad album, but you have to compare it to everything that came before it, right? So that's
Unfortunately,
yeah. So that kind of puts it in contrast.
Okay, my number 13 is also the Division Bell. So we've got,
yeah,
We're
I
all on the
don't know
same
if
page.
this is like
they're
playing
trying to
slot
catch
machines in Vegas where you get three of a kind, you win the big
up.
lottery, but we got
The
three of
hat
the
trick.
same at number 13. So I don't know if that's good luck or bad luck, but
I think it's good luck, personally.
anyway. Yeah, I
I
listened to Division Bell for the first time just a few weeks ago, and I was kind of pleasantly surprised. I thought it kind of had a little bit of a progressive rock feel on some of the songs, and then and I kind of liked the Richard Wright song,
Mhm.
and so yeah, it wasn't too bad. And so
Well, I suspect that we're going to have a lot more divergence once we go into the Roger Waters era. Um,
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
I think we
exciting.
are we are going to have some divergence here.
Mm-mm.
so we're down to number 12, right? That's where we are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
number
Okay.
12.
I had Endless River. All I'm going to say about it is, out of all the post Roger Waters albums, it's my favorite. So, uh,
Oh, wow.
not that I think it's a great album. It's just
Mhm.
what it is. So
Yeah,
that's enough said about the Endless River.
probably,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay. Well, now I'm on number did I say number 12? Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
number 12.
Number 12. And I don't think I had mentioned Endless River. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I have to put it in the list here because I just gonna group everything that's post Roger Waters at the bottom of the barrel. So it's same rationale there. And yeah, I mean, I did listen to Endless River the other day. I couldn't really get into any specific track, so that's kind of like a sign for me where if I play an album and I don't really find myself really getting into one particular track of it, and I'm kind of like, well, you
There's
know,
not many hooks in that one.
no, no. But overall, it's a good ambience album. It is kind of like, as you said, Hearts of Space, that old PBS uh, program that they had, and it would fit there, but that's all right. I mean, why should they be limited to just churning out stuff that's, commercially friendly? So good for
Or trying to
them.
make,
I think
Dark Side of the Moon goes to college or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they did actually play some of that, a track or two off that album on Hearts of. It was either Hearts of Space or Echoes.
It would have fit.
But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it
yeah,
fit.
that was kind of their new age ambient album, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So
And y'all know
what's
what a
your
big New Age fan I was. So, I mean, of course, Endless River. I'm all about it.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm definitely into new age music. Don't get me started about Wyndham Hill and Michael Hedges, but that's for another time. Yeah,
Shadowfax.
yeah, that kind of stuff. So what's your number 12, Eric?
My number 12 is gonna be More. Is
Oh.
that
Ooh.
is that the name of it, or is it soundtrack from More?
The movie's called More. Uh,
Okay.
the album
Yeah.
is called,
I always just call it More.
yeah.
I actually do like that album a lot, but it just seems kind of like it's just kind of unpolished, and it's just so it seems like they're just in a really experimental phase and they didn't quite know what they were doing when they made that album. And I think it's got some really good songs on it, but it's got some other stuff that's just kind of okay, and
I'm going to count to 10 before I say anything.
okay, man. Yeah, I was tempted to rank that a little bit higher than that, but it's just I don't know. I guess that's just the crazy mood I was in when I did my ranking this morning. So
Well,
that's
you're a
that's my
crazy guy,
number
man.
12.
So,
That's my number 12. I know it's rough. I know it's rough, man.
oh, this is getting personal.
Now we're
Yes,
on
it
number
is.
11.
All right. My 11, 10, and 9 kind of all follow the same sort of theme. The Wall is my number 11. Um, my 11, 10, and 9 choices are great albums, but I've just heard them so many times. I cannot stand to hear them anymore.
Mm.
Mhm.
And The Wall, I will play a cut or two from it every couple of years, but I mean, I never need to hear that album again.
Mm. Mm. That's
That's
interesting.
that's understandable. That's understandable.
Which is not the fault of the album or Pink Floyd, unless you think of it like they made it so radio friendly that it was just ripe for just overplay,
Mhm.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
those songs. But yeah, great album. Can't hear it anymore. Sorry.
I can identify with that for sure. Well, I have a different reason for my number 11, and I put Adam Hart Mother on there because um, and I have mixed feelings about it because I heard it the other day and I got into it, and I can appreciate it, but it's just like I just don't think that that's really them at their best.
I actually just heard a couple of interviews within the last month or so, and
Mhm.
apparently that it was like unanimously their least favorite album that they made.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
go figure.
How insane is that?
I,
Nuts.
I think
I'm
Adam,
kind of
Lazy
giving
town.
myself away there with that comment, but I'm sorry. I'm
I think,
foreshadowing.
yeah. But I think what really gets me about Adam Hart Mother, my perspective on it is just that it seems like that it was a time when Pink Floyd was surrounded by dudes with suits, like George Martin types, so to speak, and for some reason or another, they maybe gave those guys with suits a bit too much latitude. That's kind of
Always
think
do.
what what happened in that album. So
Shame.
Okay, number 11.
mhm.
Um, I'm with Mike. I've got The Wall for my number 11, and I'm kind of have the same reasons. That was actually the first Pink Floyd album that I bought with my own money, and I thought it was a really interesting, real different kind of album when I bought it, and I just played the heck out of it, and I guess I did get a little bit tired of it, you know. I mean, it's got a really good sounding album, like the production is great, and but I just think the whole concept of it just gets a little bit melodramatic for me.
Yeah.
And like
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
one of those people that feel like you could almost condense that down to a single album and it might be a better album, you know.
Yeah.
But 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 yeah, I have to put it at 11.
Well, man, that album, the year it came out was the year that I like the summer that I like started hanging out at Charlemagne, and like kind of
Yeah.
working there. Um, and I swear, man, I heard that album like multiple times every day, like
Oh
up
wow.
there. So, and then it blew up 6 months later in a big radio hit. And then that's all you heard, when you
Oh
went to
man.
the skating rink, of course. Uh, but yeah, great album. Can't hear
You
it anymore.
you must have been pretty young when you started working at Charlemagne because
That was 79 when it came out, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
79.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, I mean, I just said because I was pretty young in '79. And
Yeah.
you're younger than I am, so
Yeah, I was a lot younger than I am now, that's for sure.
We all were.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so
79.
where are we now?
Number 10,
Hmm.
All right, down to the top 10 Pink
that's
Floyd now.
it.
This is
All right.
exciting.
I got Wish You Were Here for number 10.
Hmm.
Um, Great album. I've heard it so many times I don't really need to hear it again, although I do still play it occasionally.
Hmm.
So kind of suffers from the same syndrome as the wall.
Yeah,
Mhm.
overplayed. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm kind of going with a different rationale at this point, because yeah, I did think about the overplayed stuff, but I'm just going to try to be imagine that you weren't subjected to the overplaying, and I'm going to choose for number 10, Obscured by Clouds, because like and that's this is a tough choice there because it's not a bad album, but it's just like it's not really. I don't know. It just didn't really take off for me for whatever reason as much as some of the other material did, and it just seemed to me that that was an album where they were maybe a little bit less focused than they had been on some of the other production. So, but I mean, it has some strong tracks on it too, to be fair, and it's got some really good vibes in it here and there. So,
Mhm.
I actually kind of rediscovered that album just recently. I had a cassette of it when I was a little kid, and it was such an odd album. I'd occasionally play it like when we were on vacation driving somewhere or something, but never really listened to it much beyond that. And I listened to it not long ago. There's some good tunes on there.
Yeah, I re-listened to that one this morning actually. And it's not a bad album. It's pretty good.
What's your
Yeah,
favorite track off of Obscured by Clouds, guys?
childhood's in maybe.
There's a couple of Richard Wright songs in there that I really like. I
Mhm.
think I don't remember their names exactly, but those are my favorite songs on that album.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah. But anyway, what's your number 10, Eric?
My number 10, and uh I don't know if y'all are gonna hate me for this, but my number 10 is Momentary Lapse of Reason because I just listened to that for the first time like a week ago. And I had like really low expectations, and I was very pleasantly surprised. And like just the production on that is so amazing, and it was just a fun album to listen to. I had fun listening to that album. And I know it was not really like 100% a Pink Floyd album because um, Richard Wright and Nick Mason were on there, but there was also like a whole orchestra of guest musicians and stuff. And
Yeah, yeah.
he got Bob Ezrin to produce it, and but I just enjoy that album like way more than I was expecting to. So I gotta give David Gilmour a little bit of credit for that album.
Mm.
Because I did not really enjoy that song. What's it called? Learning to Fly? Or
Yeah.
was that
No.
the name of that song?
Yeah.
But
Uh,
that's what the one they played a lot on MTV. And so I
yeah.
didn't care much for that song. And so I never bothered to listen to that album. But I did enjoy the album a lot more than I thought it would. And I actually kind of like the 80s production and the whole 80s vibe to it. It seems like
Well, you're an 80s guy.
it seems like more of a fun album than a lot of Pink Floyd's other albums. So
Yeah.
I had to give it a little bit of a shout out in the ranking,
Yeah.
and put it at my number 10.
There you go.
That's probably my most controversial pick out of all of them.
Well, that's all
I guess
right.
that would depend on who you ask.
Yeah, it would. I'm sure it would. But
So we're
I
getting
had a job. I was dishwasher at a restaurant, and
Spats.
well, I don't remember. It was either Spats or a Red Lobster, but there was a waiter there. Like around the time that album came out, one of the waiters told me that he had bought that album, Momentary Lapse of Reason, and he thought it was really good. And
Mm.
so, and I was just like, whatever. It's
Yeah.
probably terrible, It's like, but it turns out I kind of like it. So
yeah.
anyway, I know y'all are tired of talking about that album.
Oh, I
No,
can talk
no,
about it all night.
it's all good. So we're down into single digits. Number nine. Number
Yeah.
nine.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
Oh,
Great album. Never need to hear it again.
interesting choice. Interesting choice for number 9.
Yeah.
Number nine, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even grading them on artistic merit at this point. It's just like, saturation.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's understandable. I must have heard that album just so many times. It's like
Mm.
probably at least 100 times.
Yeah. I mean, you would hear it, when you go to your friends' houses and stuff, and then you go to concerts, and that'd be one of the albums that they'd play like before the band came on, and just
Mhm.
everywhere. It's inescapable.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, my number nine is going to be, and I feel like that, we're like getting close to the halfway mark. So I'm not really going to be criticizing here. I feel like everything for me from nine all the way down to one is going to be good, real good. So
Yeah.
this is really hard. It's like trying to figure out which of your kids you like the best, which is
Yeah.
Sophie's
kind of,
Choice, man.
yes.
Well, I don't
Hard.
feel like they really even have any terrible albums anyway. I
No.
feel like they're all at least a little bit good.
Yeah. So number nine is one that I like very much, but I'm still putting it at number nine. It's Ummagumma. And it's a lot of really great stuff on Ummagumma, and I really appreciate the vibe that they were going for, the laid back, introspective vibe that they got on that album. And there's some really great stuff with acoustic guitar on there, which
Yep.
I love it when they head down the acoustic guitar path, and they really do that well. It's a very good album. I just have to kind of put it there at the number 9 position because there's other ones that I just like even more. So
Mhm.
it's kind of where I am with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Guma, yeah, it was a hard album to like, but I listened to it all the way through driving home from a gig and from Tuscaloosa one night and formed a very close relationship with it.
Yeah.
The David Gilmour acoustic stuff is the best for sure.
Yeah. It really is. What's your number
Okay, is
9,
it my
Eric?
turn?
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number 9 is Obscured by the Clouds.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think they were starting to get a little bit more of like a professional rock band sound on that album. You know,
Mm,
it's very accessible sounding,
Hmm.
and it's not it doesn't have that intense quirkiness of their other early albums. You know, it's kind of like they seem like they were going in more of a mainstream direction, but it's still.
correct me if I'm wrong, but would that be the first Pink Floyd album with the synthesizer on it?
I believe it is. I think you're right.
Yeah, you may be right
Because
about that.
you hear Richard Wright working that synthesizer into there and on a couple.
Right off the bat, I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
First cut
I
on
think
that.
you're right. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the first one with synth
Mm-hmm.
because he was all organ before that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And piano.
Yeah, but I like that. I like that album. It's pretty mellow. Like if you just want a Pink Floyd album to kind of mellow out with, but
Yeah.
that's a good
It's
pick.
mellow stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mellow,
TBH.
like
You
yeah, like TSOL.
know? TSOL. Yeah. The classics never go out of style.
No.
All right. Are we down to number 8 now?
We're
Down
down
to
to
number
number
8.
8.
Yeah. Mhm.
Saucer full of secretions.
Oh, saucer full of secrets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I tell you, I think I probably would have made that number 7 instead of number 8 if I would have thought it through, because I don't think I took into consideration that Jug Band Blues is on that album.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, if that's the only song I had on it, it would be a great album. And I listened to some of it just this week and forgot how good some of those other songs were. So,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, Saucer Full of Secrets.
Mm. Okay. All right. And my number 8 is something that I like a lot. I mean, like I said, anything we're getting to now is stuff I really like, but I'm putting more on number 8, and it's only because it's not, in a way, it's not really an album proper. It's just kind of like I feel like it's kind of like something from their workshop with the stuff that they did to put in soundtrack to a movie, and uh, so. If only for that. But I mean, there's some great tracks on More for sure, and I
Mhm.
appreciate the stuff, even though it's not part of really part of a concept album exactly. But I still like it. I feel like there's overlap. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I think there's a lot of overlap between More and Relics, which is Relics is not really a proper album. It's just kind of an early greatest
Like
hits
a
compilation.
compilation. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's some overlap in the content between More and Relics, isn't
Mm-hmm.
there? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Couple of
So
songs.
Yeah,
yeah,
you could almost consider Relics to be a studio album because it's got some stuff that wasn't released on any other album. But
See
right.
Emily play.
Yeah.
yeah, like singles and stuff and B-sides, and I like Relics a lot, but I didn't include that.
Yeah, because
It doesn't really
technically
count.
everything on that album was a part of something else.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really count as a studio album, but it's a pretty cool album anyway, though.
I saw that movie actually within the last couple of years, and it's pretty bad. The album is actually a lot better than the movie.
There was a Relics movie?
Oh no, more.
More than
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Joe's number 8.
I
Yeah,
still haven't seen either one of those movies that they did soundtracks for.
yeah. That's the
Yeah.
only one I've seen. But Anyway,
Yeah, I kind of figured it wasn't all that great because
yeah,
you don't ever hear anyone talking about it, you know?
right.
Well, the music's good. I mean, yeah. Again, we didn't have Relics on here. More doesn't. I mean, Relics and More is not all exactly the same. You know, I think there is
Hmm.
some little overlap,
Yeah, I
but
think
yeah,
Relics might have a couple of tracks from More on it. So
yeah.
you're right about that.
But in any case, yeah, I kind of wish I had included Relics on the list there. Maybe I can kind of squeeze Relics in there with More in the eighth position. That's kind of cheating, but
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
maybe we could do an honorable mention at the end. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Your turn, Eric. What's your number eight?
My number eight is Piper at the Gates of Dawn,
mm,
which may seem kind of low for some people, but I do like it a lot. It's I listened to that again recently, and I think the first side of that is just really solid. It's just really good. You know, those songs like Blues for Sam and Matilda Mother and
flaming.
Flaming. Yeah, I think Flaming is probably my favorite song on that whole album.
Yeah.
That song has like my favorite British rock word in it. Ida down.
Yeah, I did
King of
down.
the Ida down.
Very
I
I
love
British.
think that's a kind of feather, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a goose feathered comforter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to look that up.
Yeah. I had no idea what that was until just kind of recently.
Yeah. Well, I hate to keep you in suspense, but I'm going to save my comments on that. Yeah, any further comments on that till later.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're heading to number seven.
Uma Guma.
No.
Um, it's a little uneven. I didn't like it for a long time. I did finally like it after a while, and so I said, if there's an album that should be number seven, it's Uma Guma. So that's what happened.
All right then. Yeah. I'm gonna go. My number seven is going to be The Wall. Maybe ranking a bit higher than you guys have, but I kind of like I said earlier, I took out the overplaying factor of it and just tried to be a bit more. Uh,
As any real critical thinking person should.
Well, it's just trying to give. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I'm not going to sit down and listen to that album for the same reason that you're not.
Yeah.
Just me being honest, but I just trying to give an alternative take on it, just for the sake of the argument, really. But
Yeah.
it's a good album. Is it as good as people have made it out to be? I do not think so. I mean, I feel like that The Wall, I probably would have liked it more if it hadn't become such a big blow up monster success. And there are a lot of people that jumped on the whole bandwagon with The Wall who didn't really know anything about the discography that happened before that. Yeah.
Well, another thing about the wall too that really was a barrier for me was just that whole, vibe of I don't want no education. You know, I mean, growing up at Homewood, going to Homewood Middle School, there was enough stupidity. They didn't need any encouragement. So that maybe stuck in my craw a little bit more for that reason.
Yeah, I'm kind of agree with you on that. I think that was the lyrics on that particular song didn't translate to America that well because
It's like Teenage Wasteland,
right, right.
Yeah, these are all great points. I do feel like there is a disconnect between maybe what Waters and the rest of the band was trying to do with that album and the way it became a cultural phenomenon.
Mm.
Didn't necessarily match up. And then they had all the videos
The
and
movie.
yeah, it's just kind of like oh, I had a friend. I'm not going to say his name, many years ago, who said, "You know what? You got to watch The Wall. You got to watch The Wall because it'll blow your mind. All videos that go with the music, you know." And I was just kind of like, sounds to me like a bunch of melodrama, you know, like some what is it? You know, avant-garde trying to make an artistic statement, trying to freak you out with images that'll make you go, ah, you know.
I actually
Opera
went to
movies are a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually went to see the Wall movie like at the premiere, right when it came out, with a theater full of people, and I just thought it was like really depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's at least that, if nothing else.
I didn't enjoy it that much, you know.
And then when you get the you get older, you know more about the history of Roger Waters, and then you start to see the thing as maybe a lot more kind of self-indulgent than it may have seemed when you initially saw it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, 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 oh. Have you guys ever played the backwards message in the wall?
no.
There
uh,
is in that song Empty Spaces.
no.
Right before the first verse starts, you can barely hear some talking in the background, but it's a backwards voice. And if you spin the record around the opposite way, it says, "Congratulations, you have just discovered the secret message. Please send your answers to Old Pink, care of the Funny Farm."
Really,
Wow,
that's there? Did
that's
not know
great.
that.
It's
That's
not like
cool.
that whole, I buried Paul, where
Yeah,
it could be anything. But
that's
yeah,
kind of neat.
it's a very clear voice saying those words.
I did
Wow.
not know that. Now
Yeah,
I have to get my vinyl and play that
and screw it
backwards.
up. Yeah.
Can't do that with a CD though. So, hey, Eric, what's your number seven?
My number seven is "Wish You Were Here,"
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I really like that album a lot. You know, I think the big long suite of "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" is just a little too mellow for me in places. A little too sleepy. That's probably why I'm not ranking it higher than number seven. But I think it's a really solid Pink Floyd album. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
just it gets a little mellow for me in certain spots, you know.
Right.
Now, I didn't know until just recently, I feel stupid for saying this, but that Roy Harper actually is the guy that sings "Have a Cigar."
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
actually, I didn't know that either. Because
yeah.
I think I read that in the liner notes when I had the album when I was young, and I just thought it was a joke or something. You know? It's
Y'all
like,
ever listen to that guy, Roy Harper?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
like him
yeah,
very
I
much.
think Joe knows
interesting
about it.
guy.
I still
I'm a
haven't
big Roy
heard much
Harper
of his.
fan.
I
There
haven't
you go.
heard much of his music,
Hats
but
off.
yeah, the hats off. He seems to like pop up in kind of strange places in the
Mm,
rock world, you know. But
for sure.
yeah, I
Yeah,
always thought it was Roger singing on "Have a Cigar" because his Roy Harper's voice sounds a lot like Roger's voice on that song, you know.
it
That
does.
is true.
So
Yeah.
I was pretty shocked when I found that out.
Yeah, I've become as a side note, I've become a big Roy Harper fan over the last year or two. Just kind of explored pretty much his whole discography.
Which is
The
pretty vast.
Yeah, but particularly like his first album, his debut album came out in 1966, has some real gems on it. Really, really a nice album. But that's a whole separate topic for sure.
Yeah, that's
Um,
another show, man.
Another show.
For
So
20
we're
minutes.
at number six.
Obscured by Clouds.
Okay.
Um, Back in the day, that would have probably been a number 11, number 12 album. But like I said, within the last couple of years, I kind of rediscovered it. And there's a lot of stuff on that album I like. So It's
Yep.
jumped to the number 6 position on my charts.
All right. All right. Yep. So I'll be brief with my number six because it's one that you just mentioned. Wish You Were Here, and I put that at number six. I mean, it's just a very strong album. It's got a lot of stuff on it. Yeah, it's been overplayed. It's been, kind of played to death. But if you kind of imagine that album, imagine that if it never taken off and gotten so much radio play, be a pretty good album. And I don't know, in a way, Floyd has kind of been punished for their success. It can be harder to appreciate some really good tunes when they've been played into the ground.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
That's true.
I really like the inventiveness of the album. I like the idea of calling out to Syd Barrett and really drawing on some human experiences, some real life experiences. The rawness and the realness of it is I really admire that, and it's nice to know it's nice to know the history. But I think that's an album you can also appreciate without having to know the history of the band, without having to think about Syd Barrett. You can still appreciate you can still imagine it in different contexts in your own life. So
For
Yeah,
sure.
I also like the weird sound effects on Welcome to the Machine.
yeah.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah, lyrically, that's a very interesting song, because it talks about it's all right, boy, we told you what to dream. And I remember when I first heard that, because, I had my own fantasies about being a rock star and all that. And when I heard that song, I remember thinking, yeah, this is probably closer to where things are going. I'm just gonna be just some other dude,
And
dreaming
you were
about.
right.
Yeah, and I was right. I became mediocre, just like the song warned I would. So it would be. So
Well, everybody
you
else came
you became
mediocre.
a
yeah,
sad man of Guitar Center.
that's right. Yeah,
Uh, um, Have a Cigar, though. I still think that's a great song, as well as
yeah,
a commentary on the whole music business culture.
yeah,
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 I think that ranks as one of my all-time favorite Pink Floyd songs is
Mm,
Have a Cigar.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's good. Yeah,
By the
Yeah.
way, which one's pink? That's a great line.
which
Yeah.
one's Pink?
And then they turned him into a full flesh and blood character on the wall out, which was
Yeah,
that was kind of a cool bit of continuity there, you know.
conceptual continuity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
conceptual continuity. That's right. So
That's
we're on
another
number
shame.
we're on number six.
yeah. You're number six.
My number six is Saucer Full of Secrets,
Mm.
which which
Oh.
has my favorite Pink Floyd album cover. I just think
It's
it's
a cool
real.
album cover.
I just think it's a real cool album cover, and and yeah, it's I think it's a little bit underrated because they were sound is a little more polished. They got David Gilmour in the band, and they're still real spacey and psychedelic, but they're just kind of developed. Their sound was kind of a little more developed than it was on their first album.
Yeah,
Well, it was a trial by fire development, though, because Sid Barrett kind of fell apart and lost the
Yeah,
plot,
right.
while the wheels were still in motion.
Yeah,
So it was kind of like, the any unevenness on that album is probably just due to them kind of just reinventing their own wheel.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of sad what happened to Sid Barrett for sure.
Mm.
yep. Okay, well,
And let that be a lesson to you, kids.
for sure. We're at number five now.
Adam Hawk Mother is my number 5. I love Adam Hart Mother. I love the Adam Hart Mother Suite. I love Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast. I love Fat Old Sun in the Sky.
Mhm.
and that song, Summer '68, great song.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the, I mean, I just think it's a great album. It may not be Pink Floyd's best. They seem to hate it for whatever reason. But I've always liked that album and will continue to like it even more. And you'll have to pry my Adam Hart Mother CD out of my cold dead hand.
I'm sure Clint Eastwood would appreciate that. No, who was it? No, it wasn't Clint Eastwood. What's his name? Yeah. The one that was on Planet of the Apes. What's that guy's name?
Oh, Charlton Heston.
Charlton
Yeah.
Heston. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Get your paws off my Adam Hart Mother CD, you damn dirty ape. Our first bleep.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay. Because let's see, we're going to number five, right? So my number five, my number five is going to be animals. And I really, really like animals. That's just, it's like it was a time when it was late 70s and Pink Floyd was kind of like rock and roll dinosaurs at that point. Punk was coming out and new wave and all that stuff, disco, and they just kind of stuck with their guns and came out with their own kind of thing. It wasn't even really a prog rock album. It's just,
It's just
kind
a
of,
great album.
yeah, it is. It's a great album. I mean, I think it's songs like Dogs and Pigs are just amazing. And when you hear it today, it's what I like about it is that the album kind of stands outside of time because it doesn't really there's really nothing like it and there's something timeless about it. The message, it's kind of an inversion of George Orwell's Animal Farm, but like with a capitalist system. So I really dig the ideology, really get into the ideology that Roger Waters put in the album. The guitar work is fantastic. There's a lot of,
Did you say it wasn't a prog rock album?
I don't think it really fits in with, stuff like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, it's there. I guess that maybe there are some prog rock elements to it, but
It does have a whole sidelong epic on it.
That's pretty prog.
Yeah.
okay, well, we can get into that. Um, I mean, they're big songs for sure, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel the same to me as an Emerson, Lake and Palmer album,
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I probably like that better than most of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's catalog.
Well,
Welcome back, my friends, to A Horse with No Name. The Animals album, though, I think is great because yeah, you're right about the whole animals motif and all, but I also always just assumed that was them like calling each other pigs and dogs, because they were like pretty at a pretty low end as far as the relationship within the band at that point.
yeah.
And I love the sound of a band falling apart. Always have, always will. Love the breakup albums, the I Hate You albums, Marvin Gaye's Divorce album. They're all great. And so I think conflict actually does breed good art. So I think
Yeah,
this proves the case.
maybe
But
so. Yeah. You made a good case for it there.
thank you.
Just one last comment on animals from my end, from my side. I think that I really appreciate the song "Dogs" because, like, I've dealt with people in positions of authority in a business situation over the years, and that description of that, kind of ruthless, you know, type of a dude with a subtle look in the eye and the firm handshake and all that kind of thing. And, they really are, after a while, you can work on points for style, that kind of thing but then he's all alone and he's dying of cancer. And it's kind of like, yeah, this guy got his just desserts for being a jerk. got to know when to stab them in the back and all this crap.
Yeah.
And I've actually experienced that. And I thought to myself, man, you are, I'm not going to say names, but you really are just like this dog that they described on the album. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we all know plenty of people that match that description.
I know, man.
So also, Animals gets at least one, if not two, shout outs on South Park.
Oh, it
Um,
does.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like on one episode, Eric Cartman turns to somebody and says, "Ha, teacher Sharad Jua."
Oh, wow.
Is that
That's cool.
is that from the album? I missed the reference.
Ha, Sharad Jua.
Oh, that's right. Asherad, you
Yeah,
are. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think there's another episode where that happens, but
yeah.
yeah, Animals good, yeah, good album,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. So, what's your number five, Eric?
My number five is Uma Guma. And I just think this is the weirdest one of the weirdest albums ever recorded. And I just think it's amazing. I was like, it's just so dark and weird, like from start to finish. And it was just like the soundtrack of my life when I was about 15 years old. I mean, I wore that thing out, and
What is a pict?
it's just I just love the weirdness of it and just the intensity of it, and I think every band should aspire to make a double album that's as weird as Uma Guma. And
Well
so
said.
that's why I had to rank it at number five.
Hmm.
But I know a lot of people don't like it, but yeah, it's definitely not for everybody.
No, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Especially Roger Waters' blood curdling scream on side one. We all watch out for that.
Yeah.
I just died a heart attack first time I heard that. I still love that album anyway. Someone's
Yeah.
got to love it. I feel like someone has to.
I'll join you.
Cool.
Same
I
here.
love that
Same
album.
here.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's hard to I would have hard to rank it higher, but anyway, that's a whole separate issue. But I still
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at number four.
Oh,
Oh,
medley. I mean metal. Metal.
Metal.
It's a heavy metal album. Yeah, metal's great, and the recent like upgrade and sound that versions they put out of metal is really nice. It's just got great songs. You can dance to it. Kids seem to like it, so I give it a 74.
All
So
right.
they got a remixed, like a remastered version out. of
Yeah,
it?
it's a remastered version. I mean, it's something that came out quite. I guess it's been a while now, but yeah, the last sound upgrade that album got was really nice.
Oh, okay.
Same with Animals too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metal is a great album. I could have put it in my number four position, but I'm going for Saucer Full of Secrets, which I love. Saucer Full of Secrets set the controls for the Heart of the Sun. I mean, that's just incredible piece of music. And there's so much good stuff on Saucer Full of Secrets. I feel like that's kind of where, I mean, there's still a little bit of residual Sid Barrett on there. Doesn't have Jug Band Blues on it.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. So there's he's kind of there in the background, but it's the transition into the post Piper reality. You got David Gilmour coming in there, and they kind of, put it together, and there's just some really strong material on Saucer Full of Secrets. It's really classical. I mean, it's kind of classic Floyd at their strongest from my point of view. And I just love it. I mean, that's an album I've been listening to constantly for years and years and years. Just don't get tired of it. So
Well put.
All right.
thank you. Okay, what's your number four, Eric?
My number four, I'm with Mike. I picked Metal,
Hmm.
and it's just a great album. It might have one or two tracks that aren't that strong on the first side, but they're just it's got some great songs on it.
Fearless.
Yeah,
That's a
Fearless.
great
I
song.
was about to say Fearless, and I love San Tropez. San Tropez, like I believe, is the only happy song Roger Waters ever wrote.
Yeah.
And then the whole
Yeah.
sidelong echoes is just amazing.
Yep.
It's just like it's like there's parts of the album where it just feels like you're underwater or something, like in a submarine
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
or
For real.
something. But it's really, I just love that album.
The
Yes, I'm going to cut you into little pieces.
that's a great line. The metal, the eponymous track, which is almost the entire second side, isn't it, of the album? Is an epic, really an epic piece, and I love that.
I think it's called Echoes.
Echoes. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Echoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Echoes has that incredible rock and groove where, they filmed it live at Pompeii, and they've got Nick Mason on the drums. And
Oh yeah, the metal funk part.
yeah. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun,
Yeah, with that
Yeah.
cool keyboard in there. Yeah, I love that.
When you see
Greatest.
the live footage from live at Pompeii with Mason on the drums, and it's like that was a moment, like, for me back in the day when I saw him playing the drums, and I thought nobody could rock so hard on the drums like Nick Mason, and make it look like something that you could do. It's kind of like, because he made it, he was kind of like, that's like a god, like playing on the level of the gods on the drum kit, and yet you could see how he did it. He's not like, Neil Peart or somebody who you're like, I give up. I mean, I don't know how anybody could humanly. But
Yeah.
Nick Mason makes it look like, you could imagine yourself doing some of those riffs, and it was just amazing. So
Yeah. Nick was pretty intense back in the day.
yeah.
In the
Remember
early
that new wave solo album he made in the '80s? Nick Mason's Fictitious Sports. I think off the top here, but
I haven't heard that one. I did hear another album he made in the '80s with another band, and I can't remember their name. But yeah, I've always meant to get around to listening to Fictitious Sports, and I just still haven't heard
good. Yeah. But anyway, I digress.
it
Well,
Maybe we could do a separate episode on the Pink Floyd solo album. Rank all the Pink Floyd solos. That's going to take some research. That'll take some listening and some research because I haven't heard hardly any of those.
yeah. That's definitely another episode. Well, we're at number three, guys.
All right, top three albums.
I tell you what, I think you guys are nuts. This album here was really tied with my number two choice, but I realized I had a moment of clarity and realized that three was its rightful place, but it's the soundtrack to More.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. I think it's got some great overlooked Pink Floyd songs on it, like Cymbeline, it's got the Nile song on there, which was
Mhm.
on Relics. Green is the color. Some of the instrumental tunes are just really cool and atmospheric. There's a couple of songs on there that are just like kind of mood music for the movie,
Yeah.
and for that reason, I said yes, it should be number three and not number two. Just because it's not quite a whole package, but man, I think more is my number three favorite. So
All right.
um,
Cool.
so
Good. Nice
that's
pick.
I'm sticking with that story right there.
Well, I can respect that for sure.
Yeah.
So my number three is metal. And so we've already talked quite a bit about that. I won't go on any longer, but yeah, I think Echoes is an incredible track. I think that one of these days is an amazing piece of music.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, I could go on. It's a masterpiece album. I've been listening to it for years and years and years and years. It's always been a perennial favorite of mine.
for good
Okay.
reason.
Your number three, Eric.
My number three is Adam Hart Mother.
Dun, dun, dun.
'Cause I just love it. I'm with Mike. Like I just love that album. I actually didn't get around to hearing it until maybe about 10 or 15 years ago. Like I think if I had owned Adam Hart Mother when I was a teenager, it would have been my favorite Pink Floyd album. But my buddy Mike here, he gave me a CD with a copy of Adam Hart Mother on it when I was maybe like in my 30s or something. And I finally got to hear that album, but yeah, it's great. It's just um it's got that experimental kind of vibe to it on the title track,
Mhm.
they like they're bringing in the orchestra, and then it's got some humor to it, and it's like I think some people hate on that album just because it's got a cow on the front. There's
Yeah.
like they're
Hey,
like
that was the Village Record stickers, man. You remember that?
yeah, I remember that.
The
Yeah,
the,
Village
the Adam
Record.
Hart Mother Cow with the album in his mouth.
Oh, I didn't know that was the Adam Hart Mother cow.
Well, it wasn't Pink Floyd lawyers out there. It was not that specific cow, but likeness thereof, which was solely proprietary information. So, anyway, you were saying?
Interesting.
Yeah, well, it's my third favorite album.
It's great, man.
And I
It's
love,
moved me in.
I think my favorite track on there is Summer of '68.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I love the
Love
whole
that song.
thing start to finish. I just think it's a great album.
How do you feel? All right.
Okay,
Are we doing number two?
we're number two. Yeah, number two.
All right. Well, it's going to be animals. It was, like I said, I was really just going to call it a tie with more, but
Mhm.
Animals is a for real album as far as it, being a complete thing. Doesn't have any movie tie-ins or anything like that. It was just the album. They were hating on each other. Times were tough. It was the best of times, was the worst of times.
Mhm.
And they made a great album. So, Animals number two.
Good
Um,
case.
I finally actually just had to make myself stop listening to Animals within the last like 4 or 5 months, because I was listening to it way too much.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a very interesting album in terms of guitar work. If I listen to it, I'm inevitably going to pull out my acoustic guitar and try to play along with it. It's almost irresistible because I'm like, they can do that, I can do that too, And I even learned how to do some of the lead guitar parts. Well, my own bad version of it, but yeah, you just kind of it's very inspiring as a musician, I think, an album to give you ideas about what you
Yeah.
can do, you know. Yeah.
Well, to that end, you should check out, if you haven't, you may already be familiar with it, but Animals was actually, that tour was widely bootleg, like almost every show. And a few
Mm.
of them, the later shows in the US, are exquisitely recorded.
Mm.
And man, the extended versions and just the left turns they take live on some of those songs is really good.
You got to check
And
that out. Yeah.
and every one of those bootlegs was available for sale at Village Records too.
No, they weren't. No, they were not. We would never. That's killing. That's killing music along with home taping. You know,
Mm.
it's not
Right.
corporate greed. It's those darn bootleggers and home tapers. People giving away Adam Hartmother CDs to their friends.
Yep. Not a
So
victimless
anyway,
crime. Yeah.
what's your number two, Joe?
My number two is Dark Side of the Moon. Um, I mean, what can you say? It is what it is. It's a monster album, a super classic album. Um, yeah, I mean, uh, all I can say is like Dark Side of Oz, like when people are playing the soundtrack and you're watching The Wizard of Oz. I did that a year or two ago, and I wasn't expecting much, and I was kind of like, wow, this is really cool. And I don't know if was there anything done intentionally to make it match up with the film? I doubt it, but this just the fact that, I love The Wizard of Oz. I really love The Dark Side of the Moon. You play them together, it kind of fits. And that, I mean, I don't know what that means, but to me, it was just massively cool.
Well, there are no coincidences.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know, but I think that there's so many things. Like the other day, I heard the album and I was just really amazed at the level of production. And they had a show going on in a planetarium here in town, and they played the whole Dark Side of the Moon, and they came up with a whole planetarium show where they just did all these colors and things, and it was super psychedelic, and I just really appreciated that, and they had really good speakers at that planetarium, and I was listening to the quality of the production. I thought, man, when they put this album together. They got a really good sound, some great synthesizer sounds, some great guitar sounds.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's played to death. I know that it's been played into the ground, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a great
Well,
album. So that's all I can say.
even in the last 10 years or so, I ended up buying like the ultra high definition CD version of it myself. Just
Mm,
because, like you said, it was so well recorded, and it is a great album.
yeah,
I just never got around to listening to it very much at that point in life.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your number two, Eric?
Okay. Well, my number two is also Dark Side of the Moon.
Haha.
Just
Uh,
because I just think it's a masterpiece, and I associate that album with just I have so many good memories of when I first used to listen to that album, and
Overlook Drive.
yeah, like I think that was my second Pink Floyd album that I required after The Wall, and I had like I had an 8-track tape, and my friend taped his brother's copy of Dark Side of the Moon onto this Camelot Music 8-track tape, and that was my first version of Dark Side of the Moon that I used to listen to. But yeah, it's just I think all their talents as a band just came together on that album, and they just almost accidentally just made a perfect album. And that vocal performance by Claire Torrey, I think
Mhm.
that's the greatest female vocal performance of all time. And On the Run, just some really innovative synthesizer sequencing that was just way ahead of its time and just totally mind blowing. And then just this Roger Waters had this whole great lyrical concept that kind of ran through the whole album, and I just think it's just such a great album.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong, and I realize my opinion of it is kind of a cop out because it's not judging it on its true artistic merits. I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'm a little sick of it too, I have to admit,
Same
but
here.
I still love it. It's
Yeah,
still my second favorite Pink Floyd
it's a
album.
great album. It's just I'm sick of that great album.
Yeah.
And now, drum roll. Number one.
Oh man, let me tell you, this is a big moment for me because my number one favorite is Piper at the Gates of Dawn. When I was
Wow.
a kid, I knew about Pink Floyd. I'd heard their music, but I just was just kind of went meh. And then, one day at Charlemagne, the needle dropped on that Piper at the Gates of Dawn side one, and it was just like everything froze. It was just me and that record. It's like it's one of my favorite albums, period, not just Pink Floyd albums. Definitely one of my desert island records. It's just because it's so odd, and I just was such a huge fan of Sid Barrett's. It's so British. It's like
Mhm.
it's other bands like 13th Floor Elevators or Jefferson Hair Pie or whoever. Those are all very American psychedelic bands. This is a very British psychedelic album, and like we were talking a minute ago about that song "Flaming." That's such a great song, and it's really even more Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds than Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. The lyrics
Yeah.
on that, blazing in the boggy dew, uh, you know, in the clouds on an eider down, watching buttercups cup the light. I mean, that's a pretty psychedelic description of a nice morning, out by the bog. It's so weird. It's like a great recorded album. You know, it's got the songs on there, Lucifer Sam, Astronomy Donomy, you know, Interstellar Overdrive, which, was like my anthem at age 13, I think. Um, and, The Gnome and Bike and, oh, I've got a cloak. It's a bit of a joke. It's so British and it's
Mhm.
so psychedelic. It's so weird, and there's nothing like it. One of my favorite albums of all time, definitely my number one Pink Floyd album, because like I said, I wasn't even a fan of Pink Floyd's until I heard that album. And then everything else became more palatable.
Wow.
So, yeah, Piper, that's the Gates of Dawn. That's it.
Okay. Well, you may have noticed that that was the last album that I had left, and I was also savoring it for the number one position. Yeah. So we're on the same page here. Yeah. I think that I can identify with everything Mike just said. Um, I don't. My discovery of the album, though, happened much, much later in life. I didn't really know about it as a teenager, and not even into my 20s and 30s. It wasn't until about maybe 10 years ago, well into my 40s, that I actually fully discovered the album. I'd seen it around, but
Oh,
I
wow.
hadn't really paid it much attention. Yeah, for some reason, we just didn't have it. And about 10 years ago, I really started getting into it, and I was like, oh, Well, better late than never.
Well,
And
remember in the 70s, it came out as that double album, A Nice Pair,
Yeah.
with Saucer Full of Secrets as the other album.
I
Yeah, that's
probably,
the
Yeah.
that's the version I had when I was a
Yeah.
teenager. I had the nice pair with the first two Pink Floyd albums on it.
Right, right,
I,
right.
I probably had heard that back in the day, back in the 80s, but for some reason it just didn't resonate with me like it did when I got older. And sorry,
It's
what you gonna
not an
say?
album you would recommend to somebody like wanting to get into Pink Floyd per
Yeah.
se. No, I mean
Mhm.
because it's a one-off, odd Pink Floyd album, but to me,
Mhm.
that's where it all began and ended, and the rest is just gravy. So,
Yeah,
um,
you could kind of look at it that way, but I wanted to talk a bit about why it really appealed to me when I got into my 40s, and I think the thing was is that Sid Barrett passed away in 2006, and I remember when it happened. It really impacted me a lot. It's funny at that time I hadn't really explored his discography all that much, but it really impacted me. And then I wanted to know more around 2006, 7, and 8, and that's kind of like when I started to look into it. And I found out that he didn't really see himself as like this psychedelic pioneer. In fact, he saw his music as art, and then it just clicked on me as I listened to the album that it was an art album. It was
yeah,
about,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a good way
So
of putting it. He was not really like a virtuoso guitar player either.
yeah,
Yet he could pick up guitar and do something interesting and perfect for that situation,
Yeah.
which is kind of like my definition of an artist, I guess.
yeah, and so he took the same, because he was into painting. And
Hmm.
he did a lot of experimental painting, and then he grabbed a guitar, and I think he saw that in the same kind of light as what he was doing with canvas and paint, and it was just let's see what we can do with this, and that type of let's see where this goes attitude is just what makes it such an incredible album to a large extent, and the fact that the other guys got on board with it and just decided to
Hmm.
follow his lead. And it's kind of an unrepeatable uh, musical thing,
Yeah,
musical.
exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's a sad thing about Sid Barrett, I think, is that he made an artistic statement and then he moved on, and you can't really. He wasn't going to market it because it was never about marketing it or being successful for him. It was the art was always its own objective, and that's what
Mhm.
makes it unique, I think.
Yeah. And it's what made Sid so unique as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about honorable mentions. Mine is going to be the Early Years series that came out recently. Capitol, it's on Capitol Records, and it's like a 2 disc set, about 6 or 8 volumes, and each one covers a certain 2 year period.
Mhm.
And there's some Sid Barrett stuff on there that I never even knew existed before. I thought I
Oh.
was pretty on top of like what was out and what was, in the can somewhere and never surfaced. But there's stuff on there that I'd never even heard of that is, it may not be great, but a Sid Barrett fan should hear it because it's really odd.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff that didn't make it onto the Hyper of the Gates Dawn album, and even before that.
Oh,
So
wow.
just FYI.
Well,
I
worth
just
checking out.
I just want to say about Piper before I do my number one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I re-listened to Piper recently, and one thing that really stuck out to me about that was that Richard Wright's keyboard playing is really good on that album.
Mm,
Like on some of their early albums, Richard Wright is playing like real dissonant stuff, like on Uma Guma, and it kind of makes you wonder if he can even like play keyboard at all.
no, he was very.
But
Very
yeah, like on Piper the Gates of Dawn, you can really tell that Richard Wright knows how to play keyboard. So that's
Yeah.
at the
one
time,
thing.
he was probably the most fluent musically, out of
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah, maybe
Uh,
so. Yeah.
so yeah. So what's your number one,
Okay.
man?
My number one is Animals.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because I just think that's just the best sounding Pink Floyd album. I think just all of their like I said this about Dark Side of the Moon, but I feel like all their talents came together in just like this magical way. You know, the collaboration between Waters and Gilmore and it's got lyrically, it's just got this visceral feeling that just cathartic feeling that runs through the whole thing and
More punk than probably a lot of the punks that were making fun of them.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like it's got almost like a punk feel to it, like
Mhm.
especially Sheep. Like
Uh,
well, that whole second side, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
but I think just musically it just sounds great. Like they sound like actually I think before they recorded that, they had been playing those songs live for a couple of years.
raving and drooling.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
they hadn't quite worked out the lyrics and the arrangements and stuff, but I think the process of playing those songs live before recording it really helped to work the arrangements out and like just the finished product I think is just amazing on that album.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's an incredibly strong album, and it stood the test of time very well.
I mean, if Piper the Gates of Dawn is not a proper Pink Floyd album, Animals is my first choice of the proper Pink Floyd albums.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
It's just Piper the Gates of Dawn is just so odd. It's just, you know, it's near to my heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it too, actually.
these are not easy choices to make when you consider,
No,
especially
it's
when you
not.
consider so much strong material over such a long period of time. This is a really a tough kind of selection to make.
Hmm.
And, I had made the comment to you, Eric, earlier on about how the 80s stuff, just the whole kind of Vegas style lineup, was a big turnoff for me. But that's like all those bands do that, like the
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, the Who, whoever,
Hmm.
they all
Hmm.
are guilty of that. And it's a drag when that happens, but I guess it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he Gilmore definitely pulled out the stops from that album. I think he felt like maybe he felt like he had something to prove.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna make a Pink Floyd album that it's a really great Pink Floyd album without that Roger Waters guy, you know.
You're not Pink Floyd. I am. I am.
I think it's better than people say it is.
Well,
Well, we can all agree to disagree.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
Unless we agree.
We could fight over that choice for forever.
We did, what was it, number 13, Division Bell, we all said?
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
got three division bells. That's
That was a
pretty impressive.
rare moment of
I thought
unity.
I thought we might get all three. I thought we might all three have medal for number four, but I think Joe had something different on that.
Well, and there
Well,
was
he can't, he can't help it.
we had some overlap and some
Yeah, we did hit the jackpot one time, so that was
Yeah. That's pretty good for us, I would imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, so if you're If you got this far with this recording, I'm talking to our website viewers, not website, channel viewers. What is your take on our list? What's your number one, number two, number three, number four? I mean, however much you want to list in the comments. What did we get wrong? What did we get right? Love to see your comments down below.
And
Please make them as nasty and personal as possible.
and if you want to see us rank the Pink Floyd solo albums, leave that in the comments too.
All righty. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later.
So long.